Now in high definition. 3 on your side. This is the WLBT 6 p.m. report.
New developments tonight in the murder of a local family.
Yeah, Atira Hughes Smith, Jaden Hill, and Lateri Smith were found murdered in rural Copiah County Tuesday. Last night, investigators took a second suspect into custody, Cedric Mason. Right now, we go live to David Kinney at Mississippi Highway Patrol headquarters for the very latest on this murder investigation. David?
That's right. Tonight, another Jackson man is in the Copiah County Jail charged with murder in connection with this case. Now, right now, investigators aren't saying how those two suspects are connected, but we are uncovering more details on how one of those men was very, very close to this murdered family. 30-year-old Cedric Mason was arrested at his home at 1338 Hare Street around 9:30 Wednesday evening. He is now charged with 2 counts of capital murder and 2 counts of kidnapping.
They just came in and started beating on us for no reason.
Mason's family says the SWAT team came in heavy and roughed up several people in the house.
No, sir, he did not do this, and he a humble person. He give back to the community.
He is innocent. He did not do this crime because, he has kids. He loves kids.
Mason's family says that he doesn't know Timothy Burns, the other man in custody, facing 2 counts of murder and arson charges in the case.
As far as how long they've known each other or the relationship between the 2 suspects, that'd be hard to say at this point. We're still working through the interviews.
A motive in the case is still unknown, but Timothy Burns' connection to the slain family now becoming clear. Investigators say Lateri Smith was killed in Jackson, likely at his home at 1007 McDowell Road, where he lived with his wife. Neighbors there now say that Burns also lived in the home and that he had been there for about a month. They say he parked his van in an awkward position Friday and that they heard gunshots the day the family disappeared.
There was evidence gathered at the house on McDowell Road and also from the vehicles, and so that evidence is being processed.
Copiah County Coroner Ellis Stewart also releasing details about how the family members died. Atira Hughes Smith from multiple shotgun wounds, Lateri Smith from multiple shots from a handgun, and 7-year-old Jaden Hill, a shotgun wound to the back. Now, both Burns and Mason could also face murder charges here in Hinds County for the murder of Lateri Smith, which happened in that house on McDowell Road. Mason could also make his first court appearance as early as tomorrow. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, David. Well, again tonight, many still questioning the motive and what, if anything, any possible links these individuals have. Well, we did some digging into their past today. This is what we know. The stepfather who was murdered and his accused killers have criminal histories. So many unanswered questions. So we looked for a common link. This is what my investigation discovered. Even Lateri Smith, who was killed at a South Jackson home, had trouble with the law. In fact, he was on probation, according to the Mississippi Department of Corrections. Smith has a criminal rap sheet. The shooting victim was charged with burglarizing a residence in August of 2010, sentenced to 2 years probation. Records reveal his probation was revoked in 2012 for failure to report. The victim was sent to prison for a year. Lateri Smith was released 11 months ago. Timothy Burns, a suspect, has a long rap sheet dating all the way back to 1992 when he was convicted for possession of cocaine. Burns was busted again in 2008 for possession of coke. In January 2009, he was charged with stealing a vehicle and grand larceny. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. And the man accused of being his partner in crime, Cedric Mason, also busted for drugs. Mason was convicted in Hinds County, sentenced to 10 years in prison, 5 years probation. He was paroled in May of 2011. A spokesman for the Mississippi Highway Patrol told us the motive for the family murders has yet to be determined.
And all the dots will be connected once we get all the information in from the evidence that's gathered and processed.
But investigators do have theories about the killings and the connections between the suspects and the victim. And of course, we asked about other possible arrests to come in this case. They said nothing, absolutely nothing is being ruled out at this point. Howard, back to you.
All right, Marcia, in this tonight, a former Star, Mississippi firefighter is now convicted sex offender. Stephen Lee Boggs will spend more than 10 years in jail. Jessica Bowman joins us tonight with exclusive video of Boggs breaking down in tears. Jessica?
Howard, after jurors listened to 3 young girls reveal disturbing details of sexual molestation, today they quickly found 55-year-old that man. He was guilty of gratification of lust. Now, most recently, I uncovered more allegations of sex abuse related to Boggs. Stephen Boggs broke out in tears after learning the jury's decision. Rankin County Judge John Empfinger sentenced Boggs to the maximum sentence of 15 years behind bars without the possibility of parole.
For as much as we've fought for the last 5 years, this is the moment that I've been waiting for.
The former fire chief was on trial for sexually molesting 1 young girl who is a part of his family. However, 3 young girls testified that Boggs inappropriately touched them numerous times. One of those children is Boggs' great niece. After sentencing, her mother, Jennifer McCook, says now that her uncle is going to prison, she finally has closure.
I know that for 15 years, nobody else's daughter will have to experience what my child started experiencing at age 4.
Now that the case is done, Rankin County District Attorney Michael Guest is revealing new information regarding more alleged victims.
In addition to the 3 witnesses who testified, there were 2 additional witnesses that the state had identified that were not allowed to testify about things that Mr. Boggs had done to them.
Guest says in preparing for the trial, the 2 additional witnesses were identified too late to submit that information to the defense.
I believe it's clear that Mr. Boggs was in fact a pedophile and that he would prey upon these young children.
My emotion was relief that my daughter and I can move past this, that our family can start to heal.
Such a very sad story, and District Attorney Michael Guest says after Boggs is released from prison, Marcia, he will have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life.
All right, thank you, Jessica. And tonight's Most Wanted, meantime, Ridgeland police need your help to catch 2 auto burglary suspects. Investigators say these men broke into 2 vehicles on November 2nd at Freedom Ridge Park. They took a purse from each vehicle. The men then used the stolen credit cards at a Canton Texaco and at a Walmart and Sprint Mart in Grenada. So if you recognize either of these suspects, call Ridgeland Police.
Fire heavily damages a North Jackson apartment complex, leaving 2 families without a place to live tonight. It happened at Cedarstone Apartments. Firefighters were told a renter stepped away from a stove to check on his children. When he returned, the apartment was on fire. No injuries are reported.
We'll find out how a group of people are making a big difference for an entire city by touring the possibilities. Stay with us. All right, time for this week's story about our friends and neighbors who are making a big difference. You stay in perpetual motion, you know? He's a traveler.
Yeah, I tell you what, I stole my own towels the other morning at my house. This might be a little bit unusual, but there's an event going on in Natchez this weekend that could make a big difference in the economy there. And if it's successful in Natchez, we might see the same sort of thing happening in other areas. Not only is Natchez the oldest city in Mississippi, but it's the oldest city on the Mississippi River. The town turns 300 years old in 2016, and that's the biggest attraction Natchez has, the past. More antebellum structures are still standing in Natchez than any other town in America. But even with a town full of people visiting all the time, Natchez has the same economic problems as everywhere, which has left a bunch of empty commercial property in the downtown area. But with an effort called the Possibilities Tour coming up Saturday, the town hopes to change all that.
We're trying to take deserted places into dynamic spaces. And that's what this is all about. It's just showcasing some real opportunities that are here and trying to generate as much interest as possible to create some new activity in downtown Natchez.
Hey, it's a good weekend to be in Natchez. There's an antiques forum going on, the Angels on the Bluff Nighttime Cemetery Tour, their usual second Saturday festivities, now a tour of commercial properties available downtown. And in true Natchez fashion, there'll be more than just a tour of buildings going on.
We will also have creative talent that will be showcased outside or either inside of the buildings as well.
Natchez is a great place to visit. People love to come to Natchez, and they like to walk the streets.
Therefore, Natchez could very well be a possibility for any business that depends on lots of people walking by all the time. The people already come here.
It's one of the most visited cities in the state now anyway.
Lots of cooperating sponsors are hoping the concentrated effort of this first-of-a-kind Possibilities Tour is successful in attracting potential businesses to come to Natchez. And if it works here, other cities or counties may adopt the same type commercial tour to their areas. And downtowns becoming more lively will make a difference for the whole community.
And that Natchez Possibility Tour is going on from 2 until 5 this Saturday afternoon in downtown Natchez. And Marcia, you know, anything like that could break out into a party anytime in Natchez. So.
Endless possibilities. Thank you, Walt.
I'm watching the temperature drop out there right now. Already seeing some 40s across parts of our area. How cold will it get tonight, and how long will it stay that way? I'll have the forecast when we come back.
All right, Dave, thanks. An accounting error has resulted in a $1 million windfall for the Rankin County School District. Today at North Shore Elementary, the Secretary of State's office presented the district with a check for just over $1 million. Most Mississippi schools sit on what's called 16th section land. The state leases that land to private industry, and the districts get cash through royalty payments from those industries. Now, in this case, Denbury Oil and Gas made some erroneous deductions from those royalty payments over the years. The error also means that the district will enjoy about $150,000 extra per year. The cash will go into the district's reserves.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, in a special report airing tonight at 10, WLBT takes a closer look at traffic violations involving everyday drivers and those responsible for your children.
We've received several complaints from viewers who say that school bus drivers allegedly speed in and out of the JPS bus barn in South Jackson, on Lindy Road, and in the surrounding area. Now, we can't tell you what we spotted until our special report airs tonight, but our cameras did come out to spot some of the alleged speeders. We did have an opportunity to speak with a JPS bus driver who says most bus drivers are good, but there are some you really need to watch out for.
Do you feel like it's a safety hazard for these kids on the buses because of many of the things that are going on?
Sometimes I do. I'm actually shocked at how small our accident rate is.
We'll hear more from that driver in our special report, plus tell you who else needs to be mindful on the road in order to keep our children safe. For now, back to you in the studio.
Well, more than 1,000 people are working to get the new outlet mall in Pearl ready for its grand opening, and that's coming up November 14th. It'll be the largest outlet mall here in Mississippi. Now, when it's complete, it will have 80 stores in the area just west of the existing Bass Pro Shop, and many of those stores already ready to open. The mall will include a food court with 4 restaurants, and those restaurants can seat 300 people. Many of the stores are coming to Mississippi for the first time, like Saks Fifth Avenue.
What's the thing you're proudest of here?
What I'm proudest of is one of the things that's standing right behind us, this huge marble wall depicting the country music trail in the state of Mississippi.
It's an $80 million development with 325,000 square feet of retail space. Gonna be a goodie.
Shop till you drop. There you go.
Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, and a big Thursday night of football. Alcorn in action this evening.
Plus, the showdown between Pearl and Callaway. Travis Raychek has more on these games next in sports. All right, thanks a lot. Let's check in with Dave Roberts. One more look at our first alert forecast.
Cold forecast.
Yeah,
good grief.
A frosty Friday for sure coming in tomorrow morning with temperatures in the high 30s. We'll warm it up a little bit, and I mean just a little bit for the weekend. And then next week, the end of next week, could be a chilly one around here with highs in the 50s and lows maybe at or below freezing.
32? Is that for real?
I know. Yeah, it's for real, trust me.
I guess it's about time, though.
Yeah, it's that time.
It is. All right, just time for Thanksgiving and all holidays. All right, thank you very much. And certainly thank you for joining us for the WLBT 6 p.m. report.
Of course, for more news, weather, sports, anytime, go to our website, msnewsnow.com.
Tune in to Fox 40 News at 9 for more local news. Then join us right back here at 10. Have a good night, folks.
Now with the new Mississippi News Now mobile app, you'll never be without Mississippi News. From msnewsnow.com to text and email alerts for breaking news and weather. Mississippi News Now, it's all right here in the palm of your hand. Sponsored by Copaya Bank.